is Hannah and Cailin, back again with Double Talk.
I'm Hannah.
And I'm Cailin.
Everyone knows M3GAN, and a lot of them love her, but who's the girl behind the M3GAN dances, dresses, and prosthetics? We caught up with Amie Donald, the New Zealand dancer and actress who plays the iconic robot doll, to talk M3GAN 2.0 behind the scenes, her on-set reunion with real-life best friend and Cady actress Violet McGraw, and her lifelong partnership with her dance teacher Kylie Norris, who choreographs M3GAN's viral dances. Listen in.
I first wanted to go back to the original M3GAN, the first M3GAN, right? Because you were living in New Zealand, you were attending dance classes, you still live in New Zealand, it's still your home. But then all of a sudden, this opportunity comes up for you to get to play this creepy doll. And I just imagine at the time, I imagine it would be difficult for you to be able to picture what that even would look like and what kind of a movie it would be. And it's just so interesting to me. So first tell us how the opportunity came to you and what were you thinking at the time? What did you expect it to be at the time?
So when the audition first came, I was 11 years old. And as you know, I've been dancing since I was 5 years old. And so my dance teacher was telling me you should go for auditions because I'm quite emotional when I dance, so I use a lot of emotion. She was like, I think you would be great being an actor. And so I was like, oh, I'll try it. And then the role of M3GAN came and they wanted me to move like a robot, and I had no idea what it was about when going for the audition. And it took a week to get cast, which was crazy because it can take a long time.
Yeah, that's so soon.
It was really quick. And I remember when I got the phone call saying that I got the job, I was at dance. So that was pretty cool.
They must have saw you and been like, we can stop the search now. This is the one. Because that's so quick. Wow. Wait, did I mishear this? Is it your dance teacher who's been with you since you're a kid? She's choreographing the M3GAN dances?
Yeah, on the first film, the M3GAN dance wasn't in the script, but Gerard saw my dancing. He just came up with the idea. He was like, oh, would you mind doing a dance? And I was like, I would love to. And then so I got Kylie Norris, my dance teacher, and we spent a day figuring it out. We came up with a couple different styles, and then we asked Gerard, the director, which one was his favorite, and he picked that one, and it blew up. And I was not expecting it to be so big, especially for something that wasn't in the script in the first place.
I had no idea it wasn't in the script, and now it makes M3GAN who she is.
Yeah, it's that's what people think about when they think of M3GAN. Yeah. They think of that dance.
Yeah, you and your dance teacher, the dream team.
They must have been like, well, I can't believe we found these two. They made M3GAN.
The experience of watching M3GAN 2.0 was very different for the viewer because M3GAN was just so different and so it was just more action packed. And I'm wondering, how was the experience on set different from the first film? And then also, what was it like going back to I'm assuming it's a lot of the same crew and obviously a lot of the same cast. So what was it like on set the second time around versus the first?
I was so excited to come back because I knew that I would get to see Violet again, but because I live in New Zealand, she lives in LA, it's kind of hard to see each other in person. So I was so excited to see her, and we went on set and I was doing a lot of stunt training in the beginning, so I didn't see Violet for a long time. And then when we started filming, I was so happy because we had a lot of the cast and crew back as well. So that was really awesome. I was so excited to be back. It was definitely this time around more action-packed. So I had a lot of training prior to the movie and during the movie when we were filming.
So what do you do? I love that you mentioned Violet because I can just imagine the excitement. You're working on a movie together, so that's exciting that you're doing the movie. But then I'm waiting for my friend to be able to work with me. That's so fun. Yeah. So what do you do? I'm imagining you're at home in New Zealand. So obviously Violet's traveling. So you're in your homeland, at least. I don't know if you have to travel to get to set quicker, but what is it like for you the night before a shoot day? And then what do you do when you come home after a shoot? I'm just curious as to how that looks like. Do you prepare it all immediately the night before? Do you save your energy? And then what do you do before you then have to go back to set again the next day?
When we're on set, I always spend the morning driving to set. Usually it's quite early, so I spend that time sleeping, and then when I get onto set, I find that once I put on the costume, I feel more like M3GAN instead of Amie, so I kind of get into the character that way. And then once we've wrapped, on the way home, I will like practice my lines for the next day. And so then it's nice to come home instead of like going to a hotel room. It's nice to be able to just come straight home and be able to like work on the script and like go through rehearsals, because I mean, for the Wing Chun scene, I still had to practice at home. They gave me a Wing Chun dummy that I could practice on at home.
It must feel kind of grounding to be able to go home at the end of every day and not be at a hotel or in an unfamiliar place. That's really cool. When you saw Violet again, was it one of those friendships where it's like no time passed? You just picked right up where you left off?
Yeah, definitely. I feel that the first time I saw her, she was in a costume fitting, and they're like, "Oh, do you want to see Violet?" I was like, "Violet's here today?" And they're like, "Yeah." So I went into her costume fitting and we got to say hi, and it was like we'd just been together forever and we didn't have a break where she was in America.
Those are the best kinds of friends.
Yeah, they really are.
And you know it when you find it too. You're like, this is gonna last forever. You don't need to see each other all the time, because when you do, it's really special. You mentioned the M3GAN costume. Do you ever feel like, because M3GAN is like a really, really big, like she's like a pop culture icon, but she looks so different from you. And even though you play her, do you ever feel like you're like undercover in New Zealand? Because it's like you play M3GAN, but like a lot of people I don't think they'd ever know, right?
Definitely. I mean, it does kind of feel like I am undercover in New Zealand, because I've never been recognized in New Zealand, but when I go to America, I get recognized like a lot more. I mean, the first time I got recognized, I was shocked. I had no idea that someone would know who I am, especially because like I wear a prosthetic mask, so she doesn't look like me, but it's so cool when I get to see people like dressing up as M3GAN. I think that's so cool. And even sometimes when I go to conventions, they people do the dance for me, and I think that's so cool. And sometimes I do the dance with them.
I remember I saw a video of you on the set of Sweet Tooth, which is another show that you work on, and you were doing the dance as your character, My Monkey. That was really cool too. Is it like a thing where like everybody that you see or work with wants to see you do the dance?
I can imagine.
Yeah. Real fans know M3GAN, and they also know Amie too.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like whenever I go onto another set, everyone always asks about the M3GAN dance or like how it was filming, and I love talking about M3GAN because it's such a big part of my life, and I'm so honored to be a part of it.
Yeah. What's it like for you in New Zealand now, like especially between the movies and then now that hopefully you're getting a break after the M3GAN 2 release? But so you're dancing. Do you want to get more into like, do you see yourself more as a dancer, as an actor? And then how do you work on that or work towards that on a day-to-day basis while still trying to just have fun and be a kid?
I feel that my dancing has definitely helped a lot with my acting, like because dancing has taught me a lot of things that I bring into my acting, like how to pick up corrections quickly, because when you're on set, they can change their minds really quickly on what they want. So you have to be able to adapt really quickly. So I learned that from my dance teacher, and I thought that was really cool that I got to bring dancing, something that I love so much, into my acting. So then I kind of get to do both. And I think that that's always so cool when I get to do that. And because I also get to bring Kylie, who I've danced with since I was 5, and I get to bring her on set too.
Yeah, that's so nice. Gosh, I love that. Yeah. Well, and also, like you mentioned, Kylie first originally wanted you to get into acting because of your facial expressions, and that's really big in dancing and acting too,
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
Yeah. And also, I love how, like, when you're dancing as M3GAN, you can tell that you're an actress.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
You can't just take any dancer like that. What do you do? I want to go back to, before we wrap up, to what you do for fun, kind of. Are you able to kind of meet up with Violet or anybody else from the crew, like after or between days? Do you have days off? What do you like to do together, kind of when you have this time together before she has to go back to LA?
Yeah, whenever we had days off set, we'd always try and schedule something to do together. I mean, we went to, well, it was for school, but it was more like a fun day for me and Violet. Like we went to like a museum, and so that was pretty cool. But it counted as our schoolwork, but we got to spend it together, which was great. But like we would go get ice cream if we weren't on set doing anything, and even like with the other cast, we would meet up with them and have like breakfast with them, like Ivana and Allison. It really fun.
That's amazing, and it's almost like an excuse to be a tourist in your own hometown, right?
That's true, because they're not from there.
Yeah, that's the best part of when people come and visit
Yeah.
where you live.
Yeah.
Because you're like, you know, we live in New York, and when we go see the Statue of Liberty with somebody, it's like we wouldn't normally do this because we live here, right? So if you got to write a M3GAN 3.0, is there something that you'd like to do as M3GAN that you haven't gotten to do yet that you think it would be fun to do?
I would love to keep it in more of the like action side of things because I love doing stunts. I think it's so much fun. But also like I remember after filming the first film, my idea for the second film was, I don't know if you remember, but the perpetual pets, I wanted M3GAN to start an army of them. I thought that would have been so good.
That would have been good. You could be a director too. You could be a writer, a director, a dancer, a stunt woman. You've got everything going for you.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me as well.